And I was showing, she wanted to see snow.
Yeah.
And she was concerned. This was her face. Elijah, what's happening?
Yeah.
What? How do you, no, are you going to be safe? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
She's like, you don't have the bars for the windows.
Yeah.
Because back
Someone
home,
can break in.
back home, those thieves are so good. They're welders too.
Yeah.
They can take those. But you need to have a lot of bars at
Yeah.
home. But then I realized how fortunate I was, you
Yeah.
know? So I said, man, if we can do something to help develop other countries.
Yeah.
And that's why I also have a special thing, and I've been working here in Masquachis.
Yeah.
Because, man, we often, and I'm guilty of that. I'll keep up with what's going on around the world, this, that. But here in our own Canada,
Yeah.
Canada is a developed country, but in many places developing.
Yeah.
People don't have access to clean running waters.
Yeah.
The government only spends a certain amount on the education of these children.
Yeah.
So I think, my goal would be
Helping people.
helping if there's any way. That would be my goal. Let's hit it. Now we Brazilian here.
Brazil.
Yeah, Brazilians come any
Do you actually have like a Brazilian roots, or
No.
you're from Honduras, right? Honduras. Is it both your father and mother, or
No.
Hmm.
My father's Irish, actually.
Irish?
Irish origin.
Irish.
And my mom's Afro-Latina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my great-grandma came from St. Vincent, actually, the Caribbean. And then my her mom is also indigenous Honduran too. Yeah.
That's peak.
Yeah.
Irish, Latin American. That's why you're so,
They call me a little concoction.
Well, guys, we're back for the second semester. And we have our president for
Vice
president for campus life. What is it?
No, student life.
Student life.
No. Wait, I'm capping it. Social vice president.
Our social VP for Busa, and more than that, our friend Elijah. It's really nice to have you on.
Thank you.
So happy finally we can make this happen. Eh?
Yeah.
Josh, what do you think about this great man's?
Of course, as a Latino brother, we have another one here in the podcast today. So we're just glad and happy to have you here.
Thank you.
How's the weather here? Can you tell us a little update? How was the walk till here?
Guys, let me tell you, man. So this morning I had the pleasure, I have our homie's car over at the house.
Yeah.
So I said, no worries. I have 3 cars at home.
Yeah.
I had nothing to worry about. Last night I spent maybe an hour trying to plug them in. And it's not working. This morning, 3 of them. None of them started.
Yeah, none of the cars are starting.
The dedication, we put 2 layers of pants, jackets, and we walked here. So, the weather, my eyes were starting to close a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I think it's
cold.
the coldest it has been since I've been here. In a span of almost 3 years, this is the coldest it has been. For a very short span, though.
Yeah.
Like last week, the weeks before, it was so warm.
Good,
it was so good. So
yeah,
it's getting so cold. That's
Are you gonna
smart.
do anything to celebrate? Roll in the snow one time, or do so? You have to do something to mark it.
I hate like winter activities. Like none of the yeah. Like I hate like I have a bad I have a bad memory with the first winter I had. So like it has been ruined. So I can't really enjoy the winter anymore.
Really?
So yeah, last year I didn't tell you this, but you guys went on like hiking, right? You remember when summers first semester they went to Banff to hike, and for the hiking I was supposed to go, and a day before the hiking I was sick. I was not sad that I did not go, bro. I was like, the only thing I was sad about was not being in the picture at the end on the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
But like, I was just faking it. I was like, bro, I wish I was there, but I was not like, bro, I was so happy in my bed. I'm like, good.
So you're not sick?
No, I was slightly sick, but like I could have like gone, but I was happy I did not go because it's just so much work to climb the mountain.
Yeah.
And imagine it being the winter. Right?
Facts.
Did you grow up here?
No, I moved when I was 13 years old to
13?
Canada. Yeah. So how
How old are you now?
19.
19. 6 years, 7 years?
Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah. I remember like the first time I saw you, it was like, I think, first 1 week into school. Like QQuest or something.
Nobody. No, you're remembering wrong.
Yeah. No,
Summertime. I mentioned this.
Yes. Okay. that one. When I came to visit campus, I came like in like when I came from Ethiopia in June. Came here July. I think mid-July to just visit campus. Then I think he saw me and he still remembered me. But my first recollection of us interacting was like the first week of school, and he used to work for Keenan, right?
Facility maintenance.
Yeah, facility maintenance. And like he used to have so much energy. And I remember you working on the grass on the other side of Maple. And I was going to the cafe and you were like, hey, bro, where are you from? Huh? And we were talking. And the next time, I think by the science building, I was like, bro, this guy has so much energy. Like, how is he so like friendly, right? Yeah. Why do you think you're friendly? Like, is that your like from your mom's side, how you're brought up? You're so social, you know?
Okay, that's a long question actually, because you know, my mom's more friendly than my father. My father's a little bit more closed. Yeah, but my mom's still not that social. She's not that social of a person. Like she's a social blah blah blah. But me and her getting most of the time we argue is me telling her to go outside, go meet friends. I roast her sometimes. You have no friends. Just for her to go out of her comfort zone. Because I just love the feeling of a full house. So I want her friends to come over. Yeah. So the reason I think I get my friendliness, I don't know, like from a very young age though. Yeah. That's why my mom put me to school when I was 3 years old. Because she was tired of me at home. I was talking too much. So I was yapping too much at home. So she put me in first grade at 3. Yeah. And then just so I could stop talking. Like I was talking much, maybe nine months I was talking fluently. Sure. Yeah, my first word was like Alka-Seltzer. So from that time, the thing that hurts your stomach, because my mom always used to have stomach pains after. I see. So then the fissure. So from that time on, she always been.
You used to talking.
Yeah, but that has been a blessing and a curse though.
How?
Because it's good. It's good to talk. Yeah, makes you connect people. People always say, I wish I was like you. Yeah. But I don't know, first, like, even from elementary school, junior high, even in high school, I kept getting, like, kicked out of class. Yeah. And people, second thing, when you're a talker, and especially me, I'm a joker, people don't take your words seriously at all. And oftentimes, I don't want to joke anymore. Like sometimes
because you want to be taken seriously.
I want to be taken serious, but people can't see that face of you.
I relate to that. Like sometimes I feel as though I'm also an extroverted person, but sometimes I have to be someone else. I don't want to be like. I just have to like act as if I'm serious for some time before I actually make people realize I'm serious about something, because it's really hard when you're usually just talking and having fun and you want people to actually pay attention to something serious and they don't take you seriously. Because something I really wanted us to talk about was in relation to that. How do you perceive, like, I see you're free spirited and you do, like, you'd be dancing on the street, or like you'd be singing, or you'd be just doing something funny. Like, I think, how do you balance that caring, people care too much about what people think about them sometimes, and are not willing enough to show their true colors, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how have you found how
Where are you pointing at me?
colors?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my question to reframe it is, like, what do you think about faking it, like, in a social setting? Like, about being yourself.
Yeah.
Like, how do you be yourself? Like, I think that's one thing that everyone can learn from you. Like, I think I don't think you're easily replicatable. What I mean is, you have your own thing you do, and I don't think anybody else does that. And you're not trying to be someone else. You're not. So, like, did you think about that from the past? And how do you try and be that same person,
Yeah, how to stay true. First thing first, one thing I think is important, you have to move in a different way where you are. Like, depending on where you are, you have to move that certain type of way. Some people might consider it fake. And even I had pastors telling me, like, you move so different when you pray. Yeah. But I think there's things such as reverence. Like, at church, I'm not a jokester too much, I think you need to have, like, a certain limit or where you move, a certain reverence, I say, when I go to church. Yeah. But so knowing that, after that, man, you have to be willing to, at the end of the day, bro, think about it. Yeah. I talk to people at the mall. Yeah. I give some compliments to old grandmas, grandpas, just for the fun. Like, I tell people, like, these last few weeks, I've been telling people I'm from Morocco. I got in 3 restaurant discounts. I'm from Marrakesh, you put some Arab. Yeah. But I think it's just have fun with the people, man. Be able to connect. Yeah. Be able to, have back and forth. Yeah. Yeah, so I would say, like, people are so shy. If you tell me go yell at the mall, I yell, no problem. Why? Because we often care so much about what other people think. Yeah. Other people say, people, but at the end of the day, what does it matter? If you see a random yelling at the mall, you're going to think, what's wrong with him for 2 seconds? Yeah. And you keep walking. But you limit yourself your whole life on what others are going to think, but you don't truly get to experience yourself. You know what you like. True. So my thought is, that idea, just live your own life because people don't care. Yeah. And I used to tell my mom, like, they don't pay my food. Yeah. Don't pay my rent. Yeah. Don't pay my car. Yeah. Why should I let them have so much say in my life? Yeah.
Yeah. I think of 2 things when you say that. First of all, I think we think that people care about us, and sometimes I don't know, is it a term Josh uses or some one of my friends said, "Hey, you're not like the main character" or something. Sometimes we have that. People have that syndrome, like that problem of thinking, "Hey, people actually do care. Like what I do, what I wear, actually matters, right?" And I think first of all, people don't really care as much as you said, especially. People who know us may care, but people who don't know us, as you said, may look at us, say, but then they'll move on. And I think we're so, like, we put on a show thinking, okay, this person could think that. That person would say that. Yeah. And I think it's really hard, but using that mindset, especially with people that know you, is really hard to break through. Yeah. Like, and what you said about, like, paying the bills, this and that. One of the things Marcus Aurelius talks about in his book Meditations, I think, is this idea of there's one thing that's for sure, right? You love yourself more than I do love you. Can we agree on that? Like, you love yourself more than I can love you. Maybe your mom loves you really, like God loves you more than maybe you love yourself in our belief. But you love yourself more. But then why do you let others' opinion of you weigh more than what you think of yourself? Like, that's like a question he poses, right? About sometimes we're willing to love ourselves more, but not listen to ourselves more. We easily listen to what people who could hate us. Yeah. They may not have the best interest for us. It's easier for us to believe one negative thing about us than believe 1,000 positive things from ourselves towards us, right?
That's facts. Yeah. But, bro, that being said, though, don't you think there needs to be a balance? Because I care a little bit about what people think about me. Yeah. But, like, one time, I think we need to still be humble enough to listen when some people want to correct you. Because I know some of my boys, you know, they call themselves savage or this, that, and they don't listen to what nobody says, you know? And I don't think that's good, because one time one of my closest friends now, actually, but I was pushing him. We were getting into a little scruffle, right? And a sister from church just looked at me. And I think she told me, like, stop. And then I was worried she was going to tell my mom. I think that little bit of fear made us stop and like act right at that moment. So I think it's important. Or my pastor, I don't want him to see me lacking or you know. I think, and even the way I talk to my professors needs to be with a little certain level of respect. So and then you need to be humble enough to know, oh, when somebody Elijah, I think you did a little too much there, or okay, I'll try better next time. Because I can go to the mall and say, yell, and no, I'll do it. You know, people don't care, but I don't want to disrupt the person beside me. You know, everything comes with a limit, and you need to be willing to kind of listen, or be in tune a little.
That's so true. Yeah, because in a way,
right? No, like I think you're right, because being that, you know, awareness, having that awareness of like the people around you, I think what makes extroverts more extroverted is that they either have, you know, either a lack of that type of awareness, so that they can just be whatever themselves until someone tells them, hey, you know, we're in library, calm down, or like, you know, hey, I'll call the security, whatever, right? Whereas other people, let's say, you know, extroverts, they're like have this, you know, a bit more awareness, or like this, too much awareness, where like, you know, it's like, oh, I don't want to disturb them, or I don't want to do anything. So I feel like for me, I had to deal with that like pretty much my whole life. And you know, depending on who I'm around, or like who, like the friends, like just I don't really care, right? But with people that I don't know, I usually, you know, tend to be more careful, just because who I am, right? And it's all about like you said, like the balance, right? Like being, you know, also true to yourself, but like also keeping aware of this, like, and so where do you think like that balance should, like, you know, be stable at? Because then if you care about, like, you know, the people's comfort and whatever, then you can never be truly yourself to whoever you're around. But if you want to be yourself and just, you know, declare your freedom and whatever, saying, okay, this is who I am, and you have all to, you know, just cope, right? I don't care, like, you do whatever. Like, for me personally, it just depends on who, like the how big the community is. Like you say, the bigger community, the less people you know, right? It's so contradicting, because you know, there's more people to meet, right? But the bigger it is, you know less, right? So there's this more of a freedom where you can, like, just, you know, do whatever, and people will just look at you in the street, right? Or in the mall, right? Whereas I think here in Berman, people tend to be more aware, more serious. First, because it's a school institution, and two, it's very small, right? Everyone knows everything, right? So if you slip up, you know, of course, people like will start, you know, gauging, or like, you know, labeling us like that type of person, and then you're done, right? But what I really do respect is, like, although you're very, you know, joyous and, you know, festive and whatever, like, for me, I'll also still consider you human, and also take you seriously, right? But it's just very, not hard, but for other people, like, having this label of other for you, that's like, for me, it's always like this, you know, quiet kid, this kid, or Abel, the yapper, right? Like, it's just everyone gets stuck to something, like in whatever.
Okay, guys, sorry, one of our mics just stopped being useful, like, before we started. That's why we're switching. But getting to the point, I think that comes from us humans being lazy, right? That's why in politics they're what we call sheeps, right? Sheeps, and because usually you don't want to think a lot. You just want to easily label somebody as one thing or the other. That's why we easily, like, hate some people and love some people. Like, you love people not because everything about them is lovable, but because at some point, someday, you've decided this person is lovable, right? It's not because they're, like, perfect, because that person you hate has somebody that loves them, like, and that's why it's really hard for people sometimes to understand that, hey, you play hard, you, like, have fun, you do funny things, but then when it's time to be serious, you can be serious too, right? But like what you said at the beginning, the balance between who you are and how you present yourself out there, I think that's one of the main reasons you have to have good friends around you. Like, if you have good people around you. Even though I agree with Eli saying, hey, you should be teachable and humble, that's where a good friend is, right? Like, that's where, like, iron sharpens iron. Like, if you have a good friend that you're humble enough to, you could check you, and you're like, okay, you don't feel like your ego's bruised, or like listening to that person is not like a step down, then you could be like, okay, maybe I'm doing extra. And you know for sure that that person has that good intention
best
for you,
interest
right?
for you.
So like, and I think at the end of the day, who you are is not gonna come out of nowhere. Like, it's not some concept that comes off thin air. It's like part of your dad, your mom, your friends, your teachers. Like, as much as you are shaped by your genetics, there's a role that people around you play. So like, it's really hard to, like, even that fake mask we wear, what we think is fake, is in a way real, because like, we always have it. If you always have it, your real self is there only less times than that mask you think you're wearing. The whole point I'm trying to make is that mask is painted by people around you. And who you allow to shape who you are, it matters, because that's why, like, I've noticed this in my school life, in almost everything. Like, if I go to the gym with Ethan, I'm much more efficient and I'm doing much more work, because he could push me a little bit more. I could be like, but he's not too far away to a point where I can never reach him, and I don't feel so small, but he's not mediocre, so I'm not like wasting my time, you know? There's a constantly that slight discomfort. So I have to reach that, I have to hit that, and there's a banter, right? Hey, you know, checking each other. So that's
part of growing with your friends. But for that to be able, there has to be trust, you know? And I think for some reason, man, you have to be careful which friends you have around. My mom always told me, like, she tells me when I was young, you know, she used to be a baddie when she she used to be a baddie. But she would tell me, like, her friends would tell her, don't wear that dress. Don't wear that dress. But she would look good, so good. I've seen some pictures. But because of jealousy. And sometimes I look fresh. And some acquaintances or friends, don't wear that. Or if you're coming around me, don't. You know? So you need to trust your friends and those that you have around you to build you up. To build you up. Because there's some friends that will build you to go the wrong way too. Let's start heading this way, you know? So you need to be able to be shaped by those good people around you. But it's who you spend time with. Even if you don't want to, do you think anybody shapes you? Like, if you just keep crossing paths with that person, you have to let them.
No, I think time is the only, like, denominator. Like, if you spend time with somebody, even if you, like, despise that person either affect your mood, how you interact. You'll just be more salty.
Like, whoever you let the person change in you is how much effect it will have in you, right? So you can see a person once and can change your whole life, you know, and, you know, switch patterns or whatever. And there's some people that, if you're strong enough in your values and beliefs, that if you see every day and interact with them, you won't fall or, like, go in their ways, right?
That's true.
So, like, I have, like, tons of friends at home, right? They're not, you know, Adventists, you know, most of them, they're, like, just hanging out there or whatever. And it's just, well, I keep my values to myself, and I know that I'm strong with them. So I have the trust to, like, go and hang out with them. You know, some are Muslims, some are Orthodox, whatever, right? And so the fact that I can keep their humanity in place, right, and also cherish that friendship,
I see.
is far more valuable for me than, you know, just trying to see what's wrong with them, and then, you know, if I spot it, then it's like, if it's not good for me, then I won't.
Right? This is a deeper. You're talking about dignity, like sometimes,
like dignity or judgment, right? It's like leaving that aside to truly feel that friendship, right? Because if you acknowledge that not everyone's perfect, or if you acknowledge that there's a room to grow, like you said, iron, you know, sharpens iron. Then if you're both, you know, like stones, or if you're both, like, you know, gold or silver, like, at least, you know, if you're on the same level, same path, or if you're, you know, lovable enough to uplift your friend, then you know that you can also trust them. Right?
My thing is, I think to Josh's point, I'd say this. I have been with friends in my life in the past that I love them so much. They have no like bad behavior, but if I went to hang out with them right now, I cannot like mesh with them because I am going in such a different path in life than them. The only thing we have in common is nostalgia. So we'll talk about, hey, we did this, hey, we did that, oh, we did this. But except for that, we have our interests vary a lot. We're both going to different places, right? That's my whole like thing against, like, even if your friends in the past, let's say, have values in their lives you don't like. Let's say one of your friends does something constantly that like you do not like. Taking school as an example, if your friend plays video games, you have an addiction to video games. And every time you go to his house, there's a big nice couch and there's a video game. There's always that. At the end of the day, one thing you can do is go there and point out to him that he's dumb, he's failing in his class. Bro, or take your computer, start studying around him. Like, feel him like so bad about himself. That's not what you want to do. You can take this example for a lot of other things, right? A lot of other bad behaviors that you could point out to people and make them feel bad. That's not a good way to go to. I think what Josh is trying to say is, like, you keep that, whatever that person is going through with the value you do not share, you don't have to point it out for you to be with them. It's just that you could keep their they could be what's the word again? Their self-respect, their dignity. Without making them feel small, you could hang out, talk about things. But I think the more you spend time, one of you will have to erode your values. That's what I mean. Like, time, kind of, even if you don't erode it, there's going to be compromise between both sides. You know.
But my question to that is, my friend, because I struggle with this a bit, because like, we all choose a different path, you know, and our friends change for a while, after a while, and you know,
some move out.
They do their thing. But when do you become so different that it's time to let go? Or when do you know it's time to just end that? When can nostalgia hold you no longer? If my boy's doing out there, or maybe being a murderer, even though, no matter how much nostalgia we have, when is it that it's time to let go and cut?
Well, I guess, God says, hate the sin, not the sinner. Right? So I'm not trying to code it for like friendships or whatever, because we're all sinners, right? And like for lifestyles and whatever, everyone has their own choice. But I feel like as long as you're loving enough to, reach that hand and like say, hey, I'll always be your friend no matter what you become. Right? I think they'll see that value in you that they'll want to portray or, copy. Right? So as a Christian, like, if you're trying to be as helpful or whatever, and they wouldn't do that in your shoes, they'll be like, wait, there's like, there's something else to it. And then they'll probably change for the better if you're the one helping out and reaching, right? Whereas, like you said, it's like, if you're just trying to impose and whatever, and just saying, I'm the perfect one, just follow me, whatever, I don't want none of your nonsense, then the love is not there. There's no friendship, right? So I guess in that sense, the guy will just move on and then not cherish your friendship. Right?
I think one thing is key though, Josh. I think I like how you quoted the Bible verse, but one thing I also want to mention is, when you're trying to build something, you have to build a base first, because whatever you shared in common could suck you back in, right? Right? My whole point is, I think if I have friends that I do not agree with on some things, we love each other. Showing them the love doesn't mean that I have to participate with them in whatever, right? I think in a way, even if what is it? Even if I come and sit with them, join them, play with them, show them that love, it has to be after I have set my fate on the rock type of thing. Like, after I've gotten where I could be. Like, I feel like, or else, a good example of what he's saying is, let's say your friends are lazy, but you want to get somewhere. You want to be rich or something like that. If you go halfway when you're struggling, they could easily pull you back. You know what I mean? And the thing is, people will know that the version of you that's not what is right now.
Yeah.
And people are gonna always ask for the other version. Hey, where's the other version that doesn't want to like be annoyed at things, right? All the new things all the good changes in your life that you have assumed or you've made. Let's say in your daily, in your usual day, you work 10 hours, you work out in the gym or whatever, you make this amount of money, but you come to your local town, you join your friends, and that whole day you're bugging them, hey, let's go work out, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, we can't be like doing nothing for 10 hours. Like, all the new things that you've changed in your life, your name is Josh, your ID is the same, but you're slightly changed, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really hard for them. I think it's hard on them. Yeah.
I think especially I have my boy. He used to be quite maybe even alcoholic, I'll call him. Yeah. And he used to be into quite a bit of that alcohol all the time. And I was passing one of his boys' house. I'm like, oh, that's where your boy. And he's like, we're not friends no more. Yeah. Why is that? Because he's trying to change his life. You know, he's trying to leave that behind. Yeah. So anytime he sees them, he gets a little bit tempted. Yeah. Or he doesn't want to be around that area. Yeah. And another thing, you hit the nail on the head, is anytime he goes there, his friend doesn't recognize he's a new guy. Yeah. He doesn't. Some people don't want to acknowledge your change. Yeah. So he said, for that reason, if they don't acknowledge your new self, they just want to keep holding on to the old one. Might as well let go, he said. Yeah. But I don't know.
And I guess when it comes to that, then it's all about knowing yourself. Yeah. Right? Because it's so key, right? Because then, like, your friend, if it's like, oh, I know that if I go there, it's gonna be, it's gonna go bad. So the fact that you can acknowledge that is also very key to that, fellowship that you have to share if the values are not met. Yeah. And when you said about
the base you've built, the confidence you have in yourself. Before you go there. Yeah. If you know for sure, hey, I know who I am. Like, you're risking it, but like, if you know who you are, you know that you're not going to get tempted. It doesn't even have to be one habit. It could be multiple things with like, sorry. One quotation I like is, you know how you kill a big idea?
How?
What do you do to kill a big idea? You tell it to a small mind, right? Like, when you say, hey, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. People that know you when you're dumb and like you're a kid and you have all these like, you've been doing wrong things. They're going to say, calm down. You just got to end up with us. You're not going to do this and that and the other. You just have this ego and ambition.
A prophet needs to leave his city. Huh? A prophet needs to leave his city.
Jesus in his own town was disrespected, right? Because that's where the verse comes from, right? Even a prophet is not respecting his own city. The whole point I'm trying to make is sometimes it's the role that they play. It's not as much of what you do. Yeah. Because you could be fine with just going back to your town, saying, hey, how are you? Yeah. Willing to sit down and, abide with them, like do things with them. But they may not feel comfortable anymore because you have changed and they might not have changed. Yeah. Like that's what I was saying.
Yeah, but I was just trying to retransition to a whole nother topic, right?
Bring it
in fellowship, right? But like you said, having that, faith built first in order to build that relationship is also key when it comes to relationships, right? So when you're trying to find, your mate for life, or like your bride or whatever, or just like your companion. Let's put a companion. So like
companion for life.
Right. It includes everything, right? So I feel like that also has to copy paste on to relationships, where it's like if you start seeing someone that is not with the same values or the same lifestyle, of course, you can, date, have all the little funs and stuff like that. But like once it grows, it'll just grow apart. Right? Yeah. And it'll be far more harder to cut it once it just reaches to a whole, new level where it's like the commitment is too big and it's like now it's the values, but like what about
time invested?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Imagine there's kids involved and stuff like that. Then it gets really big, right? Yeah. So I feel like it's very crucial, right, to always when you meet people and whatever, see if like the potential is there, or if not, then just keep it very light and friendly too, right? It doesn't mean that you have to like put the pride in your head and say, oh, they're not on my level, I won't go with them.
It's just that your goals differ.
Yeah, exactly.
But
such a good transition. Like Eli,
Yeah.
bro, we have. You are one of the most sexiest men on campus.
No.
You almost won the like banquet fashion show or something.
No.
So yeah,
I'm alright.
Like, how much does like having a common goal have a role in like, relationship?
You know, when I aim to relate. We're talking about relationships.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Bro, I'm not the best at this, to be honest.
What's your resume?
I'm the only single man in this room, right?
000.
Yeah. So, but sorry. Yeah, like facts, all the but. When I forgot the question. When I heard relationship, that's the only Say it again.
Because Josh was pointing out how sometimes if you both don't have the same goal in mind in life, like if your goals don't coincide, you will invest so much only for you both to realize after you've invested, even until getting married and having kids, that both of you want to go separate ways. Your paths don't coincide. That you feel that, pain in separation. So how much does, having the same goal, like having those ambitions for growth matter in like picking a mate?
Yeah, that's a good question, my boy. And I've been wondering, like, because they often say opposites attract. You know that saying, right?
Okay. Yeah. It's a saying.
You heard that saying, right? But I'm like, do I want a shorty that's opposite for me? Because I'm not the most clean or like organized guy. I'm like, okay, maybe I look at all my weaknesses and I say, okay, maybe I need a shorty that's stronger at that. But then I also have that like school of thought or that thought, or I'm already pretty strong at public speaking. Let's say that. Do I want a shorty that's strong at public speaking? To help me even sharpen me more? Like that. There's that doubt. Do I want somebody that's opposite for me? Because me, like, let's say, I'm not the most best at finance, right?
I see.
Do I want a girl like that can help me with my finance?
Yeah.
Or do I want her to just sharpen and we grow together? Like, I have a big heart.
With both of your spenders, imagine.
That would be terrible. I'm quite interested in development, right? My goal is to be one day go back to Honduras and help my country develop. But my question is, do I want a girl that has the same drive as me? Do I? Or do I want somebody to keep me kind of grounded and be my balance?
I think that, well, not the issue, but like the very conflicting matter is that whether you guys have to align the interests, like you're saying, both strong speakers, both, goal oriented, whatever. And some are like more lifestyle habits where it's like, I'm just more of a morning person. I wake up at 5:30. I like to see the sun wake up, the coffee all cozy. There's some people like that I can acknowledge that, bro, just go to sleep. Like, what was that? Like, you need your 8 hours, bro. It's like, so for me, like you saying, it's very a hard task to like differentiate what really matters in a relationship or what values will last at the end. And like you said, like if you really want someone that speaks as, eloquent as you, or like, have that same characteristic, then you can also say, but like if we build something together, it will really work well. But then see the other side of the coin. It's like if someone, there's a very heated argument, it's gonna very escalate to another level. So it's all about balance.
Sometimes, you don't want, like, I do not want another me, to be honest. Like, because I love myself, but I love myself enough. Like, I don't want to love myself again with somebody else, because there's some things I love about myself that I wish the other person has. But for the most part, I think that's just looking for something easy for myself. Like, I think taking on the challenge of sometimes dealing with people who are slightly different from you, if they have that upward in things they give you that are not, similar to your values. I think in a way, that's why I think love has to be in a way, you have to calculate the risk and the reward in a way. Like, people don't like to talk about that, but you have to say, okay, is this person just short-sighted, long-sighted? Like, does this person have goals? Like, I respect people who love vacations and who like going on hikes and all these things. Am I that type of person? No. So do I want, like, if I put myself to it, if I sit down, I could plan out something for a whole year. but I do not want to be with somebody who always wants to go out, then I'll hinder their love for that thing, you know? Like, that's too much for me to take from them. Like, so sometimes I think there are things that are non-negotiable, but there are some things that I'm willing to compromise.
Yeah.
But those non-negotiables should really fit.
But what are the, like, when you say wake up, I'm a night owl, right?
Yeah.
Your boy's up 2-3 a.m. Anytime, hit me up.
Yeah.
Hit me up. Anytime at that hours. But you know, Elijah Elijah O Sullivan or Papi Chulo, either or. But I think, to be honest, if I got the right one, man, and he wants to get up at 6 a.m., I'm all for it. If it means, you know. But that's my question. I was gonna ask, like, what are the things that I should be willing? What do you guys? You guys are a little bit older. What are the things I should be willing to compromise?
Advice session to Elijah about compromising.
Yeah,
things.
like what are you guys? Because me, this is one I struggle with.
Yeah,
because girls, a lot, and women, a lot, men too.
Yeah,
this hustle culture. This hustle culture.
Yeah.
You gotta be an entrepreneur. You gotta
now everybody has to.
I'm fine. I want to be a sheep in that sense. I'm fine with working that hours, clocking in. I don't mind that. And then also my thing is, like, some girls the problem with them might be me. I don't care about money. After I get this university degree, if I make $35,000 a year, alhamdulillah, I'm happy, man.
Yeah, that's one of the things I want to talk about later on.
I'm so happy. Like, but that might be a problem. Girls have told me they're not interested in me because I'm not driven.
You know how
but not financially.
You know how the 3 6s of the girls that everyone looks. You know, 6 foot tall. You know, 6 figures. And what was the other one? I forgot. I don't know. 6 packs. Oh yeah. So 6 packs. Yes.
You know. For that one, I'll just refer you to the, you know.
But like, what are you saying? If we get back on track.
Yes.
Wait. Anyways, if you didn't hear it, then we're all good. Yeah. So, like you were saying, like what to compromise, right? And I saw this. You know Dave Ramsey, the little guy who has a foot, right? He had a tweet.
You know that guy is becoming like a billionaire, right?
Yeah, no, he's growing. So just by like financial
advice,
yeah. So I saw this tweet somewhere. It was like, in 4 areas you have to be in the court or like in the same page if you want a successful marriage, right? One is about money, like you said, right? Parenting, how you're gonna raise your kids, right?
How many kids?
Oof.
Yeah. Faith, that's one for sure, which also goes with money and parenting or whatever.
Yeah.
And the other one is circle of influence, which in most cases is the in-laws, right? So if you see the in-laws, having this, cult, like very occult side or like very niche, whatever they do, like weird stuff, whatever. Like, if you want your marriage to be successful, it's either you compromising that, going with them and accepting that, or being loving enough to, tolerate it.
Yeah.
Or if it's way too much, then you just like it'll be not, it's not a like red flag or something. It'll be less chances to be a successful. Yeah. Like, because there are marriages that worked. Right, there are marriages in the whole world. Like, they just, if not one single in-law has to agree with you, then it's not the end of the world, right? There'll always be like tias, they're always yapping, right? It's like, it's like, nah, don't go with them. It's like, nah, and they start, just posting.
But like, I think talking about non-negotiable, that's one of my non-negotiables.
What?
The girl's family.
Oh,
my goodness, I am so. If this is what I say, listen, girls and moms.
Yeah,
this is
give it to them.
I think I can get any girl in the world. I think I can get any girl, lady in the world. And this is, some might say no. And if I can't get you, I can get your mom to get you. Listen, I can get your mom to get you. Listen, because
we need the drums. We need you have to hype. You have another message.
Hit it. Because bro,
we need a soundboard.
Hey. No, I think, to be honest, like I think the mother-in-law and the in-laws are the most important because you're marrying that family. If you really think about it, bro, And if you have issues between each other, who's the if you have issues between each other, the family can say, "Oh, come back to him," or let's work it together.
Oh my days, that's one of the things I'm so stressed about. To be honest, like that's why I'm laughing, like because there, you know, in the relationship, like in my experience, my girlfriend just so happens to have so much like value for her family, right?
Yeah.
Just also like my family, just everybody, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm always thinking, family has a big role in a relationship or something like that. So whenever that's going on, like how much do you commit to those things? I think that has to be a real conversation. Yeah. Because if the family is supporting you, if they love you the same, they'll bring you together, as you said.
Yeah.
Or else they will just separate you and they'll come in between, you know. Because they have such an influence. They know the person from when they were kids. Yeah. And that's why one of the main reasons, I don't know, I heard this online too, where a girl, it was a video of a girl saying, whenever you have a fight with your spouses or like people you're in love with, if you tell it to your family members and if it's a bad problem that you've had, you guys are going to fix it and continue loving one another. But your parents, their family, they'll still have that sour taste in them, right?
Yeah.
They'll always be like, you know, behind, nagging you to like go back, reassess. So, yeah, that's one of the things you have to, I think, I don't know. What do you think about interracial, like, couples?
I'm the product of one.
Yes. How does that, do you think that has an impact, being an interracial couple?
Definitely has an impact, you know, like when culturally, you meet culturally and probably religiously as well. Yeah, I see. And the food you cook and those little aspects of life and the way, like, for example, my uncles in Honduras, the way they interact with their women or wives, sorry. Yeah. Like, my uncle sits down like this. Yeah. My auntie brings the fork, puts it in his hand. Yeah. And then, make me my juice. Okay, she starts mixing it. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. So she picks it up, brings the dessert for him. You know? If you're marrying maybe a Western lady, actually, I don't want a wife like that. I know.
Describe a Western lady. Describe.
No, like, because if you're marrying like maybe a traditional woman back home, maybe she will do that. Yeah. But a Western lady most likely won't do that. But I don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want that.
But you know, like that, there's big difference like that culturally. But I think culture.
That's why I brought it up, because that's one of the non-negotiables I have.
Really,
culture in a sense, not being from the same race, but having a similar culture, because your family, the culture of the family is breeded again. It's not something that. It should not be a copy paste of my parents' family style. It shouldn't be her parents. Yeah. It should be a breed of those things and the Christian household, right? Yeah. What a house should be, if you're getting married with a Christian female, if you're Muslim, how a Muslim household should be, that should have an impact, right? But so, like now, you know what I mean is religion has a part. Like in my house, if I say I'm a Christian, I'm marrying a Christian woman. Yeah, I want to raise my kids with Christian values, right? So that will have an impact on how I raise my kids. Yeah. Like the morality within our house, the highest order from which we pull our rules is from the God we're worshiping. So like there's an impact it should have on the house, right? Yeah. That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. So basically, I think like you were pretty spot on, but I think like you said, religion, the culture behind religion, I think transcends the culture just ethnically or from the city or like tradition, right? Because of course it'll have an impact. It'll be somewhat harder, right? But it always works, right? It can always work. But I think religion has a way more impact in the family than just nationalities, right?
But Josh, have you considered like how, again, to your point about when you were talking about your auntie and your uncle and those things, I was just thinking about my family, right? How my mom was, how my dad was. Like whenever I think about a family, I easily go back to my own family or like my grandparents or my like aunties, and there's what I think of an Ethiopian father, an Ethiopian mother. Like, you know what? There's a certain set of rules that are not written per se, but there is a code by which we act.
Okay.
When I, let's say I get married to a Filipino or something like that, or like a Latina, I will have such a different like mindset towards the marriage and how we interact. So it will really have an impact. Like, even if religion, because
I'm not saying there's no impact at all, but I'm saying religion has a way bigger impact
than culture at some houses. Yeah.
Because culture has definitely
because like how you eat food, how you interact with kids. Yeah.
But do you guys think, me, to be honest, I've been struggling with this idea for a minute. Like, I be talking mostly to non-Christian girls.
Yeah.
But I'm maybe like I say hello to some Buddhists. I don't know. I'm
about
just
a household being Christian.
Yeah, like, do you guys, is that something that you guys are willing to put up?
Yeah.
Non-negotiable, or is it negotiable, or like, because me, I've been debating. So can I marry somebody outside my religion? And I think I would love to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it closes me in. I like a guy that likes out in the world, like me, you know. It closes me in. But then also, like, if it's just Christian, what does he have to be Adventist? And Adventist, even the difference from College Heights and community is much different. What type of Adventist? You know, like, how close or how far can I?
Okay, I think I have the perfect answer for this. Okay, there's no perfect answer according to like scholars class, but there's always a good you should be worried about asking the right question or a good question, not about the answer, right? That's what we learned. It's first semester of scholars.
That's right.
Teach this guy. But I think, okay, again, going back to my family, my dad was an Adventist. My mom comes from a Muslim background, right? So they were dating, then she became Adventist, and they got married. 15 years into me growing up, I see my mom's love for the church I don't know if transcending is the right word.
Okay.
My mom's love for the plain and simple, like the love she has for the church, or it's called qanaat in my language, which is like wishing good things to happen within the church, wanting to do something in the church, is bigger than the third gen father. No, my dad is a second gen. I'm the third gen. My dad bigger than my dad, who's been Adventist his whole life. Yeah. Right? Like, and no, like, it's no offense to him. He's still Adventist. He goes to church. Yeah. But every time I saw my mom, I used to be like less understanding of the history of Adventism or the doctrines or whatever. Yeah. But much more of an open heart to God. Yeah. The whole point I'm trying to make is, I think there is a role in religion being non-negotiable when it comes to what you end up being once you're married. Having two separate religions is like having two separate gods, because most of the time religions teach different teachings. If you're trying to marry a woman, I don't think it's a matter of what religion she is. It's a matter of, is she religious or not? Religious in a sense, is she God-fearing or not? If she's God-fearing, whether she's Muslim, Buddha, whatever she is, both of you should come to an agreement of being both Buddha or both Muslim or both Adventist. Why? Because then both of you can speak from the same vein, from which your kids can learn from.
And the kids,
because that's what matters.
Fact.
Because above both of you guys, you're bringing people who know nothing and giving them this burden of, okay, you pick what you want. I think it's your responsibility to teach them and put them in a position where they have a mind that can read, like examine and make their own decision. But before that, you're supposed to put the
guide a child,
food in their mouth. So like there's a role in like picking a woman that's God-fearing, has some integrity. Which religion obviously helps. But if it doesn't help, of course, as you say, there are Adventists you can marry and like ruin everything. But I say having this, what do you think?
Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty here. I'm just trying to re-update in the discussion. But I think what you're trying to say is, as both are on the same page in whatever they believe in, then fine, right? They can believe in a cow, or they can believe in spaghetti.
Both of
Like,
you have to believe in the same thing at the end of the day. You can start from different places, but before you bring kids to planet Earth, I think having the same mindset is good. Yeah.
I mean, that's how.
And what's interesting is that, like, even when you do have like a child and you ask them like, which one do you want? Of course they're gonna pick like the one that has more chocolate to it. You know, like which one do I benefit most? So like it's actually very unethical in my opinion. Like that's just, you're giving them like a hard life already, and already like giving them like crises, potential future crises. Like they're gonna have to grow up being like, my mom does this and my dad does this, and I love both of them, of course.
Yeah, because then it creates a sense of division inside the household itself, right?
Yeah.
If two, let's say, I can go with whatever division comes. You know, two different teams or two different political parties, or two different religions. Like, it'll always, you know, become a disruptive experience for the child, because then he'll have always to choose. And choosing one means hating the other. Or one. It'll always become like this sort of, you know, unhealthy brewing in there. Well, so.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you guys some more. Because to be honest,
switching around.
No. Because I often wonder, and another one, like jealousy. Yeah. Because because you guys said let's talk about girls. I think I want to enlighten a few of y'all today, bro. That aspect of jealousy, or some people call it jealousy. Some people love jealousy. Like, if he's protective, some people consider it protective, and some people consider it insecurity. So what do you guys think about that, or what's your role? You guys are all taken, so tell me a little bit more about that.
I guess I'll just go to the Bible again. You know, God is jealous. Right?
Yes,
he's jealous of his people. Right? He says it. You know, like, he only wants your adoration towards him. Right? Because from his end, of course, he'll always love us. Yeah. So that's a given for him. Yeah. So of course he'll be, you know, jealous if his people don't love him, because he's already pouring everything to us. Yeah. So in a relationship, what I think is, if I'm giving myself my whole thing like to a person, and I'm seeing them not being reciprocated, or, you know, trying to, you know, have something like that, then of course I'll be somewhat reasonably jealous. Yeah. Right? The fact is, that feeling shouldn't take over what your actions do. Right? Okay. So if you start, let's say, you know, having the location on, or like texting, hey, what are you doing? No, come back. You said that. Yeah. If it comes very, let's say, like somewhat toxic, then that amount of jealousy becomes selfishness and almost hit like your pride, because then it's like, hey, like, I don't want to deal if someone. It's my thing. It's my own. Like, that pride of like possessing something. Yeah.
Can I add?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Love by itself. Love, one of the pillars of love, as mentioned in Corinthians, is love is not selfish. Like, love does not seek its own, right? Yeah. In a way, God, who is love in John, defines love through freedom. So love cannot be valid, or cannot be a real thing, if there was no freedom to choose the love, right? So the only predicates for love to be realized is the reaction for the love that God gives us. The only thing that's required is accepting the love and loving back. Yeah. Right? So to Josh's point, what is deserved should be given. Yeah. If somebody loves you, if you cannot love them back, you ought to let them know, or else you have to love them back with the love that has been given to you. Yeah. Coming back to jealousy, though, again, if that jealousy, again, jealousy comes from what? Not love. Because love does not seek what? Its own. Unwarranted jealousies exist, though. When, let's say, me and you I'm a girl, you're a guy, then we're together. If you see me with guys, and you're feeling a bit smaller in front of her, or that you just want the attention more, or you want them that person to focus on you.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of having a conversation about that, because females and guys and girls have a very different understanding of what friends are.
Yeah,
right?
we can talk about that one
because
after.
For guys, friendship, like I think, okay, first of all, anything that you water is gonna grow. If you plant water, unless it's a rock, if you're planting some tree, some grass, something, it will grow. Anything that grows has a destiny. There's nothing that does not have a stop, right?
Yeah.
So there's a goal to it. There's nothing that just, if you, that's what I mean. Like if you start feeding the grass water, you should expect it to grow or
to get clipped.
Yes. When girls befriend guys and have this open relationship with them that has no boundaries and is being fed by the daily communication, it will obviously lead to something.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that I have faced and I've communicated and I've tried to explain to even my friends, my sister, is that guys by nature have a differing understanding of what female-male relationship is than girls.
Yeah.
Platonic relationships exist only in the female world.
So you don't think men and women can be friends?
I think they can be friends.
Okay.
But it's a very dicey place to be. So again, to conclude the point I was trying to make, though, it's not a conclusion, but what I was trying to say was in general about jealousy. Yeah. I think first of all, you both have to communicate. Hey, I don't feel as though the only thing you could do for that person is express to them how you feel. Yeah. Hey, I feel as though these and this person that you hang out with or you do all these things with, it's not going to end up well because you'll have to either grow or die.
Yeah.
Any relationship grows or dies. If a girl is with a guy and they're friends together, what does the guy benefit? If me and Josh are friends, we're friends, right? We're brothers. This is an example that could be seen as a dumb thing, but if both of us are out there, some accident, something happens, something physical, I know that Josh is gonna help me. Yeah. There's a utility, there's value utility with guys. Yeah. Girls could be friends with other girls because the other girl could help them in girly things. Guys and girls cannot help each other for so long.
They can help. Like, let me give you an example. In some small thing, like I put eyelash on 2 days ago. It was 5 minutes before class. I thought I could wash it off, but I put the waterproof one on, and I didn't know I had a black all here.
Why did you put the eyelash on?
Because I'm who I am. You know, I don't let nobody dictate me. Yeah. No, it was Joshelle. Me and Joshelle. I'm saying your name, boy. And then, but Emma came through. Me and her don't have anything. Yeah. But Emma, can you please come? She came with the makeup remover, quick, and saved the brother. So they can help.
What I'm saying is, in reality, that has to have a payoff. Friendships have to or else, okay, you and Emma, let's take Emma as an example. Yeah. You and Emma are friends for 10 years. Yeah. You have no intentions to be with her for no very serious reason. Yeah. The moment another guy comes into her life, or another, whatever the relationship is,
whatever happens, a couple,
the companion pulls up. Yeah. Your time with that person will have to change. Yeah. Then all of the investment you've had is for no reason. I'm saying investment should have an outcome. Whatever there should be, what is it? Return on investment?
ROI.
The ROI should be high. Or else there's no. And again, jealousy, not everything has to be expressed too. Yeah. Sometimes it's sometimes it comes from insecurity. Sometimes it comes from concern for your person. Sometimes it just comes from anywhere. But you have to just calm yourself down and be like, okay, am I being jealous? If I'm being jealous, does me expressing it have some value? Yeah. There's seasonal friendships. Like if your girlfriend is classmates with a guy and there's the only person that they can help each other with, you bugging her because she's sitting in the same class with that guy is not gonna help. Yeah. Yeah. She's not gonna leave that class because of that too.
Yeah. You gotta be reasonable.
Yeah. And in the same way, you cannot say give me your whole time to your girlfriend. Yeah. Like she has a girlfriend, she has a family. Love that says, hey, give me everything you have.
Constricting.
And don't go out there, don't be with people, don't do this, don't do that. Every time, that's not true love. Again, That's why we believe in the Trinitarian God, right?
Yeah.
God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. It's not a love only between who? God and God the Son and God the Father.
Yeah.
There's a third person in that, right? The love is shared among people, right?
Yeah.
And that love is shared what? That love always has what? In biblical concept, has fruit. That's why creation is a fruit of what? God's love.
That's true.
Biblically, God creates because he loves, right? And because of the love between God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, that union has made the universe. That's what we believe in. And if your relationship with a female does not have fruit, that relationship is barren. It's not literal, by the way, because scientifically, I may not be able to bear. That does not mean. But if everything was right, that should have fruit.
Yeah.
That's why when you have guy friends too, it has to have fruit. If it's gonna kill you, if it's for bad, that love, that relationship has no value.
Yeah, that's true. But on the topic of jealousy, I have a different than both of you.
Yeah.
Because my idea is, boys, what is love? Love is good, but love is a choice, I think. I personally think love is a choice, right? So when maybe maybe don't take this to heart, girls, if you're listening, or guys. Maybe that's the reason I'm single right now. But in all seriousness, I think when I'm taking or talking to when I'm taking with the shorty, I'll tell guys, come talk to my girl. Think about it. I would tell come talk. Yeah. If my boys, she's bad. Can you give me the Instagram? I'll give the Instagram of my girl. That's my idea. Because at the end of the day, she will choose me. If she decides to entertain and start talking to them, it's her choice. Yeah. And she chose. And we all make decisions. My thing is, I can't be holding on to sand.
Yeah, but we don't disagree with you.
Uh-huh.
If other people don't find your relationship attractive, if other people can't find your girl attractive, there must be something wrong with you. Maybe the person you picked is not attractive.
And that's
not
okay.
Only physically. I'm saying it's not about physical attraction.
Yeah,
if that person
mentally
has traits about them that's lovable by people, I can't be mad about my girlfriend or my wife being liked by people. Yeah. That's a blessing because that person is a good person.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, hey, people shouldn't like on my girlfriend, or my wife or whatever's Instagram.
Yeah.
I am saying, yes, it is a choice.
Yeah.
But you can always make the choice harder.
Yeah.
Because you could always put seeds of not trusting one another. Yeah. You could always do that, right? So at the end of the day, I think Instagram is one of the additional tests for our generation in marriage, right? Yeah. So we constantly go on Instagram, see the next chick, the
baddies.
And it constantly drives us all crazy, right? The truth is, as people, we don't know when it's enough. Like by nature, nobody says my money is enough for me. Like there are only few people who have that. Hey, I'm good with what I have.
Yeah.
People are always greedy. Okay, can I get a little bit more? Can I get a little bit more? You know? Yeah. So if your wife wants to, go out there, post 10, 15 pictures after she's married with you, what's the end goal? Like I always see it as, okay, what's the destiny? Like what's the whole point of it? Right?
She wants to look cute.
Yeah, but she doesn't have to look cute on the internet. She can look cute every day. I'm not going to tell her, hey, do not post. Yeah. I'm just not going to choose to be with somebody who wants to do that. You know what I mean?
And what do you guys think you guys can tell, like, your girlfriend? I was wondering, like, my uncle asked me, can you tell her, how much can you tell a girl? Can you tell her, don't wear that? What's your opinion on that?
I mean, here's the like. For me, I might be ready to drop anything. Like, marriage for me is a contract of two souls combined into one.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. That means that I'm willing to be told whatever my future wife wants me to tell. If I'm going out to the world or if I'm doing whatever, my lifestyle habits or whatever. Like, she has the right to tell me what, because she's part of me now. We've basically become one. Yeah. Right? So we always have to be in the same page with whatever, right? I might have an opinion on how she dresses like or whatever, right? But there has to be some understanding in like seeing, like he said, what's the end goal here? Yeah. Like if there's, It's something very just. I'm just going. Yeah, I have this ad to pop, and like, or I have this new news channel I have to present, or like they have to like address entirely and whatever.
And also, why will I first choose to be with somebody who has, let's say, an Instagram business, unless I'm willing to accept that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna suddenly say, oh, change everything about you, stop posting. If she usually posted,
okay,
and she got money from it, or there was a benefit from it, yes. If she gets nothing except for clout and comments, but she keeps on posting because she's addicted to the attention,
validation,
and the validation she gets, and my validation is not enough. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Then we say, oh, okay, why not?
Yeah.
You pursue that. I'll just fund it, and like I'll fund the social media campaign, and I'll slowly just move on, because it comes from also respecting the other person in a way.
That's true.
Because it's like social media is like the new market, right?
Yeah.
So,
but the reason I was asking that is because, boys, like, yes, I see the point. Like, it's important.
Yeah.
But my thing is, just give the people freedom. She wants to go out with her girls, with the boy. Because people, too many relationships I see that the man is holding on to something that in a few months, or that's already out of his hands.
It just slingshots. Yeah.
That's already out.
Trying to hold and poof.
You
just go the other way.
So that's what I think. Like,
yeah. And what I figured out not too long ago is that the opposite can also be as destructive, right?
It is.
Right. So if you try to, just say, "Hey, do whatever. Like, I'll always love you. Like, I'll do." You can be as free as you want. My love is unconditional. You can do, right? And then it stops there. Like, love has to have some sort of action. Like, if you want to truly show love, is not by allowing anyone to just do whatever.
Yeah.
Right? You have to actively demonstrate, because as humans, we're not telepathic, right? We don't know, we can't read each other's feelings just by looking at it, right? So, there's 5 languages of it, and whatever you want or you're more comfortable with or what you're best at giving, you can always give, that attention, right? No matter what. God does always, right?
Yeah.
We're still breathing now, every second, right?
Amen.
So that is a display of his love, unconditional love, that we're always experiencing through our every single second in our lives, right? Like the fact that we're starting to have a roof, it's like we're not freezing outside, right? We're eating well fed. I'm too well fed. Oh my! Like no. Yeah, so it's like no, it's true. No, we'll get the grant. You know what I'm saying? 2024. No, I already messed up. 2025. But it's like it has to be. As humans, like we have to be willing to have that trust, or if that love is big enough to always show it and give that.
That's
right?
true.
Love is not to just let around and say, okay, I'll just give it to you if you come to me.
Yeah,
right?
that is
I think with regards to clothing and stuff like that, I think that's where culture comes in again. So I am not going to marry a girl that I'm not saying I'm not going to marry her. I'm saying I'm not going to marry a female who grows up in a household with her dad. Let's say she has a Caucasian family. Her dad does not have put so much emphasis on coming early, telling him when she's leaving. Like, I'm just saying, are like that. I'm just taking an example. Or she's like, let's say South American, and she has so much freedom in her life.
Anything.
I'm not trying to take that away from her. I'm just trying to find a person who culturally adapts well with me, meshes well with me.
Yeah.
Like, I do not have to tell her to wear some way. I should be the one picking the colors. Maybe if she thinks I have a good taste, she could be like, oh, hey, what do you think if I wear this? If I wear that? I don't want her to be scared of, hey, wearing some way because I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
She should be conscientious enough to say, hey, if I wear this, will it please my husband? Because if she loves you, she will want to please you. Love by itself, love drives you to give, right?
Yeah.
To be of service.
Yeah.
You are trying to make the other person happy. Their happiness ends up being your happiness.
Yes.
Right? So whatever offends you, if her going out midnight and staying late and coming back with her girls, it's going to offend me. She will not do that. Why? Because she loves it. She chooses to not do that.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you like going to the club with the boys and you know that's going to get her mad.
Yeah, it works both ways,
Yeah,
by the way. I'm
that's
saying
true.
the same thing. And not
that
only about
makes
girls.
sense.
I'm saying...
No, I'm applying it to my life.
Yeah,
And
it
will
works
make
for
sense, yeah.
us too. Like, if we are going to do things that is going to affect our spouses and stuff in the future, I think we should be more conscientious in not doing those things. Because the sword cuts both ways.
Put yourself with someone that is willing to, accept the way you are. And, like, if you're not willing to compromise that. Yeah. Right?
There are people, because there are people on both sides. That's why you have to find that person for yourself.
But my boys, I just thank you. I just had a good idea. Look, talking about culture and that. Yeah, but we can all change. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
When I came to Canada, my view was very different from today. We all change, and slowly, like, my view on women. I used to think I'm gonna steal your girl, but women are not objects. But that's how I used to think about it before. Or they have to do like gender roles. There has to be a certain ta.
So you don't believe there are gender roles?
Oh, okay, well, no.
People change.
That's my idea on roles or things have changed.
Yeah.
But
for Honduras.
Exactly. But how much change do you allow?
Yeah.
Because I was hearing this week.
There's always a compromise you have to make. Yeah.
This 50-year-old person I know got divorced this week because it turns out that the wife was lesbian. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
The 50-year-old dude got divorced because his wife is lesbian.
How much change?
Did she have a kid?
They have kids, yes. And it's not the first relation. I heard about two.
No.
Okay.
Like we mentioned earlier, you see how if the values don't align, even like with attraction, right? It'll take time, but eventually your urges are you get so comfortable that you just say, okay, now that you're comfortable with who I really am, then I'm just going to leave because we're not, on the same page. I gotta go, right?
Eli. There's an Ethiopian philosopher. His name is Dawit. His name is Dawit, right? He's a psychiatrist. Mm-hmm. I heard him once say this amazing thing about people, human beings change. But he said one thing that amazes me is how you as a person change, but your name is a constant for a changing person. Right? Elijah at 3 years old is the same Elijah at 11 and 21.
Yeah.
That cannot happen because you're constantly what? Growing.
Learning.
There's some elements of you from 20 years ago in your mom's womb, or 10 years ago 10 years ago in Honduras, but you may not recognize you from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because of how much you've changed. I say even 3 years ago, you're so different than who you are right now, or I was.
Yeah.
So, of course, there's a level to which you could compromise. I don't think that woman at the beginning was lesbian when she got married, but again, she never maybe listened to all the urges, I guess, or she did not have that influence at that time for her to say, oh, could have I done this too? Maybe I'm like this. Then maybe she took that pathway. I'm saying, whenever you're with somebody, you're not gonna pick a person who's an end product, like a person that's the finished article. You have to be with somebody who's willing to, true love, compromise things. Yeah. That are not the negotiables. The non-negotiables, you have to have. But there are things that in character, like if you love 80% of somebody, but there's things that, you can work on it. Yeah. Because you're not going to find a perfect person. Just like you will have that in you. You're inadequate in a way. So you have to show mercy. You have to show grace to each other. That's the whole point. So. Yeah. So what I will say is, you can't find that finished article.
Yeah.
But talking about changing though, I had a very nice discussion with you last time about socialism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I hear you lived in Cuba for 3 years and you were under the tutelage of Fidel Castro. No. I'm joking.
but yes, okay.
No, I saw you wearing the Fidel Castro hat.
Oh yeah.
Or the Che Guevara coat or something.
Hey. No, yes.
Yeah. So why can you share with us like why you think socialism is such a good idea?
Yeah.
There are things you like about socialism.
Definitely. Guys, if we're being honest, man,
Yeah.
wealth disparity in the world is unfair.
Yeah.
The way that the money is distributed in the world we live in today is sad, if I'm being 100%.
Yeah.
And I always think about it. I consider myself so lucky because I'm here in Canada. But why is it? No, not many Hondurans are here in Canada.
They're not.
So it's why I call it, pardon my slang, but it's one drop of sperm. Because my father's Canadian. I became Canadian the moment I was born.
He's Canadian, Irish Canadian.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
I see.
So that's why I'm fortunate, right? I always think, my mom was just in Honduras last week.
Yeah.
And then, so the people there earn maybe $10 a day.
Yeah.
So, and then here in Canada, minimum wage is about $130 a day.
Yeah.
Nobody in Canada is working 12 times as harder. No, nobody in Canada here is none of us work 12 times harder than anybody in a developing country. We often have this mindset that they're lazy, or people in warm tropical areas. Yeah. You know, so
it's a stereotype. Like, you know, it's like we always sleep during the day. A
siesta, like to fiesta.
Because it is part of a culture, and that's why the stereotype sticks, right? Because any bad stuff related to people, you just stamped it there. And it's funny, right? It's like we're the lazy one, but then on the other hand, it's like we're also known for like being the most hardworking and doing the jobs that no one wants to do. That's my thought. And because there's so much, so it made me think, like, I often carry around this deal. How is it that me, bro, I can be earning, let's say, even the lowest job for serving fries at McDonald's, like I'm learning low or cleaning anything, I can be earning $15 here, but a nurse or somebody back home is struggling to make ends meet. Even being, I hear lawyers are raising chicken. Or some different. So
but I think
that's where it comes from.
I
don't like how
the disparity
and how wealth has been spread out over the history. Not just today we see that. And we get told a lie, my boy.
What's the lie?
We get told a lie. The American dream is a lie.
Why is it a lie?
My boy, the chance is from the bottom 20% to become top 20% earners. We believe rags to riches story. We're told that narrative. It's false.
What's the richest?
The rags to riches. You come from the poverty to wealth. But that chance of you becoming from the bottom 20% to the top 20% is 3.6.
Okay.
That average. That is a low chance. They only do a few.
Okay. Can I rebuttal?
Yes. Go ahead.
First of all, it's the American dream. It's not the American reality. The truth is, only few get to experience the dream into a reality. America is not a state with equity. It does not promise equity, but it does promise equality of opportunity. Now it does not. I believe it's moving from that. It's moving towards more of an equity system to balance things, which is impossible. I think disparity, Eli, in my opinion, my humble opinion, is attached to nature. In nature, there is a hierarchy. Human beings have the intelligence, better IQ. Dolphins have a closer one than chimps. Then you go down, right? Is there equality there? No. Is there divisions amongst animals? Yes. Amongst humans? Yes. If you went to the poorest societies, still there are classes between societies? Yes, there is. People by nature, wherever there's resource, there's a disparity of resource because people are greedy. That's within nature, right? So I think the biggest challenge is taking that away from nature is really hard. Second thing is, I think the best thing that you could do is give everybody the same opportunity to fight for something and celebrate the winner. I think it's really hard. It's a hard reality. But in life, I believe there are winners and losers. Is it a good reality? No. I think it's like there's one quote Ronald Reagan said, socialism exists in two places. You know that?
No.
Socialism exists in two places. In heaven, where they do not need it, and in hell, where they already have it. The thing is, in reality, this communist, socialist, Marxist ideals sound better.
Yeah.
But I feel like they conflict with what humans internally, the human nature, which is not. Why? Because humans are sinful. The thing is, I think whoever believes to know more about communism than founders of the communist ideology is just lying to themselves. I think the best case for that is Russia, right? Let me just finish my. Whenever they were in their communist state, Lenin, Stalin, these people killed more people than I think even Hitler did.
6
the thing
millions.
is, they did that for the cause, right? From everybody, from all according to what they can give.
For the movement,
to each according to what they needed, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what happened? Human nature overtook. People in the powers still were greedy, right?
Yeah.
Even in those states. That's why ideally, socialism is a good thing.
Yeah.
But in reality, it cannot be experienced. I think that's why America, even if it will fall soon, I assume.
Yeah.
That's why we all fly to America. We all try to go as close as we can there. Not everybody wants to live in United States of America, but
Not me.
Yeah, but at least that I think America gives that idea of, hey, you can get somewhere from nowhere. And like, if you try to be like a South American billionaire in China, it will never happen. Because the Chinese Communist Party is going to show you that it's not your place to be.
Yeah.
America, on the other hand, they're Ethiopian millionaires, right?
Yeah.
Multi-millionaires that started from nothing.
Yeah.
People I know their origin stories from. Are they very few? Yes. Most people live in a hard situation. But in another way,
Why do you have to have the majority living in my boy? Think about it. Like, that's my idea. Why? If the way that we
there's
see
enough resource.
communism,
There's enough resource.
Exactly. And the way we've been seeing communism is wrong. Because yes, it's supposed to be equal. The brotherhood of the nation. Like, doesn't that move something inside?
Yeah, it does.
The brotherhood of the nation.
Yeah.
But listen, bro, because after that, yes, there's supposed to be a leader, somebody that puts it together. But what they failed to do is the wither of the state. Because after they can start controlling, right? Karl Marx said, you need somebody to hold it. You know, you need a little dictator, a little strong hand, a little bit. And then, but after that, he's supposed to wither away.
But that contradicts with what love is, as you said. That's why I think America being founded on the Christian ideals in the beginning, now it's a secular state, gave it this aspect of freedom, right? In the Constitution, right?
Yeah.
To own arms, to choose to vote. All these freedoms that were given, I think, stem in a way from biblical thoughts of freedom that exist within human nature. And I think competition is unavoidable. Wherever there's a resource, it's like whatever money America spends on war, if they spent it on just helping all the homeless people in the US, they wouldn't be homeless people. But will they do that? No, they won't do that because
they got oil to get from Iraq
or like some other resources from somewhere else.
They are always a backup idea. There's always
if Iraq had the same power, they would do the same to the US.
No, man.
Yeah. You doubt that? Saddam Hussein wanted the next Babylon. What did you think when he said Babylon? Just Iran and Iraq? No, it was Kuwait and the Middle East and then North America.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know, my boy. My idea is, bro, like, because I like drafting theories, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I like...
you were telling me you're writing a theory.
Yeah, like, I just like breaking it down, you know? So I think if there was a way that we all... Because in society, we need the toppest of the tops. We need those finance bros. We need those, like, surgeons, right?
Yeah.
But we need people to clean our streets. Those are all roles that need to be fulfilled.
And they should be paid well.
Why? Exactly. But if they're all paid well, inflation will happen, I feel like, eventually, too. Too much money will be circulating the system. So it will always... if we're all millionaires, if everybody in this campus or in Canada got $1 million, it's like $1 at the end of the day. It loses value. Yeah. So the only way you can kind of fight against that is everybody make a little differentiation. But I feel like everybody should get paid the same because we all play an important role to society.
Yeah, of course.
I think...
Oh, but like you were saying, like let's say if everyone got paid, $1 million, then it would just crash down the money value, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like society itself will also go down in value, because let's say, oh well, I aspire to be a medic, just also to help people, but also to have the monetary compensation that goes with it.
Yeah.
Right. If you see that the monetary compensation is not something that you can afford, then it's like something very attractive that it'll make you push the 10 years of medical school or whatever, and then everything will happen after, right? But if you see that if you can live with, like, let's say 20K less, and you can just I don't know, work at let's see, like cleaning the streets or being a front desk worker or like something like that, then of course human nature is lazy. So they'll see that and they'll say, I can like do this.
The driving of the nation.
Yeah, of course. There is
that
of course
patriotism.
people there's people of every school thought and whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think this is, you should think of it this way.
Okay.
When have human beings invented the most amount of new things, like new technology? During war, right?
Mm-hmm.
War is like America got to the moon because Russia was gonna get there. Like, during the war, an atomic bomb was made. Like things during the war, people are stressed and pushed to their limits.
Yeah.
Therefore, they produce amazing things.
Yeah.
That's human nature. Yeah, I think. So I think I'm taking this an example because, again, if you take the dream from a person, there's nothing to aspire to. You have to realize the American dream, this false American dream, as you say, is reality because it sells you an idea of where you could get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or else everybody will settle for mediocrity.
You think so?
Yes, because if you can eat and you can sleep and you could fill the basic needs, whatever you do is going to be compensated for with nothing extravagant or something different that you have. As you said, if all of us have Lamborghinis, having a bicycle would be something everybody fights for.
Yeah.
If you take the bicycle and there's nothing to work and wake up for, nobody would do the hard things. Nobody would sit down to put on a surgery that takes 26 hours. Because it saves lives.
Mm-hmm.
It does. When you take that naive standpoint of like saying people are good, yes they are, but we all have to be incentivized in a way.
And how can we and that's why I struggle too. How can I incentivize? That's been my struggle. That's right. How do I incentivize? Because I see that we all have choices and make, like, that's what I told you how I came up with this idea.
Even the hustle culture you were talking about.
Like we all think we're going to be the next big thing.
But think about it this way. That's why when you talked about, hey, girls don't like it when you're not like, hey, I want to make this amount of money. I want to be this, that, and the other. If you're like, hey, I'm not too driven by money, the main reason for that is money provides that means to do things that not everybody can do. Like someday if you have kids, your kids would want to have a phone that their friend has.
Mm-hmm.
You could rationalize it and explain it to them through your sophisticated philosophy, but they will not understand. Right? I have been there at one point in my life where I needed things, but because of my parents and where they were in their financial state, they couldn't do things for me. But I never got it. Now I get it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In a way, like, girls like the security that comes with the money. That's why they're attracted to. I think, to close up this section of mine. I watched a video of a guy saying girls are true indicators of where you are in life. They cannot lie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you are doing all of the right things in your life, girls that are around you, without them talking, it should tell you how you're doing in life. Because usually girls have this instinct by which they're attracted towards the security, the safety, the success. Because again, it's nature, and they just want that too. And that's no shade to them. Just like
Yeah.
us guys are attracted to certain things in girls
Yeah.
that come with, I don't know, innocence or like being loving, caring, femininity.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are as expensive to men as it is expensive for girls. That the stability that they see in a guy.
But that's true, my boy. And that's okay to fight against my argument against socialism. Yeah. The thing about it is
because it has positives and negatives.
Yeah, and in order to argue for a point, you have to be able to see both sides. Yeah. So one thing in capitalism that I do like about these open markets and free markets and like all of it is that my idea. The reason I fight for, you should not be worried about like this guy just be a doctor because of the money, or just want to be this. No, I tell everybody, man, do what you love and what you're good at. Yeah. Because think about it, that like if you're a cleaner, be the best cleaner you can be, and then you start sweeping. Then you can hire. Maybe buy your little truck. Yeah. Okay, then you can hire 1, 2. So like that's what I think. Like shorties are like a lot of people ask me, what do you want to be because I'm studying international studies, right? So it's a broad, open field. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you want to be making after you graduate? I tell them 35,000. It's. I don't know that. Hey, 35,000. If I go back to El Salvador or somewhere, it's a lot of money. But my thing is, don't be worried about so much what you're gonna make. Worry about the end goal, where you're gonna make and I think we worry too much about like university students. Many of us sadly are just driven by what the money they can be earning. Let me tell you, ChatGPT will take some of them jobs. Yeah. But just focus on what you're good at, and that will bear fruits eventually. Yeah. But focus on the impact you can have on the world. Yeah. That's the reason I say like, yes, of course I'm a driven guy, but I won't be at first. Maybe you have to be willing. Yeah. You have to see the bigger reason and go and push it a little bit.
And when you said, be the impact in the world, it shouldn't. In the most perfect situation, it shouldn't be affected by what surrounding you are. Yeah. Let's say if it's a crisis war, that's when people start rushing and like trying to be the best and like succeed. Yeah. Because there's no spots left, right? Yeah. So that sense of competition is only brought when the means are put there. But in that same case, that sense of goal and direction shouldn't be also swayed away when there's peaceful times, right? Yeah. There's a saying that peaceful times make weak men, right? Because then there's no like ambition, there's no goal, and there is no passion. There's no aggression, right? Yes. So like that sense of self, of identity, I think can only come if you have, I'll plug God, of course, but no, but it has to be, right? Because then like, what's the whole point, right? If you're already comfortable, and if we just set off saying, like I'll just live the bare minimum, there's nothing that will push you into becoming the man that God wants you to be, or the woman that God wants you to be. Yeah. Right. So I feel like having God and having your own self, like in whatever you like and what you're best at doing, should always be in par and going to whatever you want to become in life, and shouldn't be affected in which country or in which surrounding or which friend groups you have, right? Because then country you can always move, you can always go wherever you want, right? Like you're the only one keeping here. You can. It's hard, that's for sure, because we like being comfortable, right? But when God calls you, or when you know that you have to move, then the choice is always yours to make.
Facts.
No, for sure. So Eli, my boy, what's in your mind for the future? What do you intend on doing?
What do I intend on doing?
Yeah, talking about the future.
Man. Yeah. Yes. To be honest, I'm not 100%. If I'm being honest, and this is being recorded, so somebody might play this back in 10 years. Oh, look. But let me be 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. But I would like to first, man, back in the day, I used to be. Let me go way back and let me catch up today. Yeah. Before, I was like, why don't I want to become a brain surgeon?
I see.
Okay, until grade 11. Then I hit bio. And it's a little bit challenging, you know? Yeah, and then I was doing physics. I'm like, okay, this is maybe uni's not for me. But no. And then I went, and then let me tell you, it was this prof, Mr. You know Nakesi?
Nakesi? No, I don't think
Emil? Yeah, he was just a social studies prof, and he taught me a lot about social studies and those interests. And then I got that interest of, man, there's a bigger impact. We're in the world. We're combined. We're together. So then that made me think more. And I started, after that, taking that class and seeing, because he will update us every day what's happening around the world. And I would see, shoot, my country's one. Oh, he sometimes showed news about Honduras. My country's one of those 4 countries. Yeah. You know? And I would think, man, why is the reason I'm here? I have family members. I hope that they had to cross within the last few years, cross and walk that border.
I see.
United States, you know, swim there. Or gotten caught by and sent back, deported.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, why is it that I got so fortunate?
Yeah.
Why is it that I can be sitting here, no fears at all about papers, you know? Yeah. Like, I before I ever come to Canada, I was citizen already, you know? So why is it that, you know? And I was thinking, like, I have to go back to my home country. Yeah. And people don't have access to some education. Yeah. People don't have access to a lot of different things. Yeah. And then I started thinking, not just my country, but many places around the world, you know? Yeah. So that's what my aim is, to do global development, but not through infrastructure. Yeah. Because I'm not an engineer or in that side. And then I was just thinking, you know, in what way? So I follow this guy in Honduras. His plan is to build 1,000 schools. And he's my inspiration, I would say. Mr. Chin Fujiyama, I believe is his name. Yeah, like he's from Japan, man. He went to school in the United States, but he's building 1,000 schools in Honduras. Yeah. We can all make a change. Yeah. You know, so yes, and I have not decided yet what area to make a change, because I'm from Garifuna. Yeah. I'm from that, what's it called? Yeah, that's my ethnicity or my group. Yeah. You know, that's my culture. Yeah. Yeah, half Garifuna. And our people are from St. Vincent. 200 years ago, they moved to Honduras. Yeah. And they helped to fight for Honduran independence. Yeah. So their land was granted, and it was not supposed to be sold or taken away. Yeah. But lately, it has been getting taken away. Yeah. So that's, if I could help with that, they have a lot of human rights people right now fighting for our people's land, because some of them, they buy 3-4 acres for $500. 500, what, you know? And then they sell it to Canadian zip codes. Right here in Lacombe, what a small city in Canada, there's at least 3 people that live back in my home city. And because they're buying houses $10K, but then the locals are getting displaced, and where do they go? Yeah. You know? So I think I would like to fight for that for a little bit. But first of all, here, I will maybe have to, at first, stay here in Canada. Yeah. Work as something, maybe policy analyst. Yeah. But if I could work, you know, I have a passion also for troubled countries. Like, if I could go to Afghanistan, I know people say, oh, you're just saying that. Yeah. But man, I would love to be right there in the heat of the moment, you know? Yeah. See how we often forget, become too comfortable where we came from. Because here, living in a country, you know, what moment hit me that I was so blessed. I was showing my cousin around the house, and I was showing, oh, you know, she wanted to see snow. Yeah. And she was concerned. This was her face. Elijah, what's happening? Yeah. What? How do you feel? No, are you gonna be safe? And I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah. She's like, you don't have the bars for the windows. Yeah. Because someone can break in. Back home, those thieves are so good. They're welders too. Yeah. They can take those, but you need to have a lot of bars at home. But then I realized how fortunate I was. You know. So I said, man, if we can do something to help develop other countries. Yeah. And that's why I also have a special thing, and I've been working here in Masquachis. Yeah. Because man, we often, and I'm guilty of that. I'll keep up with what's going on around the world, this, that. But here in our own Canada, Canada is a developed country, but in many places developing. Yeah. People don't have access to clean running waters. Yeah. The government only spends a certain amount on the education of these children. Yeah. So I think, my goal would be helping if there's any way. That would be my goal.
Yes, my guy. Well, this is
a question. No, what's it called?
Can I pick one?
Yeah, of course. Pick. I'll just explain it. I think it's a a habit that Manny wanted to impose. I mean, on behalf of Under the Maple, and basically we just read out loud the question, and then you try to answer the best you can.
Okay. What is your favorite type of book?
So it's not as deep questions. There were like deeper questions here. There's like very what's your favorite type of color type of thing. But yeah, what's your favorite genre? Yeah, type of book or whatever.
Like I said before, I don't know if it's a sneak peek or no, but until I finished high school, I never read a book. Like your boy was not a reader, but I like a little bit of historical books. Yeah, his books with facts and a little bit of history. Yeah, I don't like too much that Gilgamesh and those in-depth books because scholars is making me read them. So I have enough of those.
What do you think about the Republic?
It was good.
It was peak, right?
Yeah, Plato did his thing.
Yeah, The Republic is the best book I read in that class.
I think informative wise on how to build a proper society and how to run it. Yeah. This is the guy that gave me the inspiration to me start writing my own theory. I see. If
Plato.
But I'm not Plato.
Call you Plato, man.
I'm not Plato. I just pick up my plate though.
I pick up my plate.
No, but I think historical, but real life events. Like I was reading a book that I was just reading, the history of Myanmar. Yeah. What they have gone through, like the colonization there, what the Rohingya Muslims what are going through, you know? Or how, because it made, I think I like those type of books more.
Burma, right?
Yeah, Burma. Because I have, my boys are, I have three friends, Karen. So I wanted to know what the Karen people, how are they in Thailand? And so I think those historical books of what's happening around the world. Yeah. Or low-key, I forgot the name of it. It just slipped my mind. But The Stolen Land, about what's been happening here in Canada. Yeah. So just historical books.
You like that?
That gave me, because I have friends around me, right? Like I have different
you surprised me a lot when I saw that you knew about Ethiopian culture, like Oromo music and dance, and I was like, what? How does he know not only about the Ethiopian culture but my ethnic group's type of music or dance? And I was like so surprised.
Because my friend, I often think, and okay, let's bring it outside of the book now. Yeah. The biggest thing that differentiates us is fear, the fear of the unknown. Yeah. You know, my friend, I think is that fear, and we don't get time to get to know each other. We don't have time to look into each other. And that's why we have so many walls. At the end of the day, every human being, I believe, wants to have connection. Yeah. At the end of the day, all of us want to be loved. Yes or no? Yes. Am I saying right? Yes. I think all of us want to be loved. Connection. But we build so many walls, man, that it's hard to access. And that's why, Oromo, it's an interesting story how I got actually to know about the Oromo. Yeah. Who are the people here in Canada? What do you say? Or people hated towards it. They call terrorists. Yeah. Our Muslim brothers, right? Yeah. So one time, I know about Islam a little bit because my brother is Muslim actually. Yeah, I see. But I was thinking, who are the people that are most hated against? Who are the people that? So I went. Yeah, I went one time. Mm-hmm. Sadly, it's our Muslims, our Muslim brothers. So I went to the mosque here, the masjid, and I started talking to the guy because we need to get to know other people. Because they call them terrorists.
You went to the masjid?
Yeah, here. And I started talking to the brother, and he's Oromo. Oh. That's you see how you can always meet new people.
I see. He's in Lacombe?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Like, I didn't expect that here,
I didn't know.
Let's have a link.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah, we'll go.
We can meet him.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
We can meet him. But that's my thing. But why did I go there? Because people say, oh, these guys are the bombers. Yeah. Like, I didn't even know there was a mosque. But I remember being with some of my friends, oh, don't go there, don't go. But it's that fear of the unknown. Yeah. Sometimes, my boys, if I'm being 100% honest, the first thing we can do is break that barrier.
Break the barrier.
Break the barrier and take a step to get to know people. Because like he was saying, that humanity inside of us. And guess what he got from me? Yeah. Some fire goat. And we have that humanity. Yeah, we're all hungry, so we all have those things in common. Yeah. Why don't we look for the things that we have in common, then create more separation between the world?
Wow. That's such a cool message. Before we end, we usually ask what 3 things there are to be grateful for. But
Yeah. I mean, we were gonna ask, words of wisdom or whatever, but I think the wisdom has been spoken the whole episode, and it was just to like wrap up, like he was saying. We always ask the guests, what are 3 things that you're grateful for?
3 things that I'm grateful for.
Yeah, you can go for the easy ones, but for content purposes, it's always good to be a little spicier.
Yeah. 3 things. Guys, this is a little bit hard if I'm being honest, because we often, what do? Ask God in prayer, like, oh, give me this, give me this. But this sermon I was saying, tell God thanks for this. So, I would say, the first thing I'm thankful for, well, I can be specific or broad, but I'll say
you can go 10.
Family,
family.
Of course.
Like, I'll truly say, like, I'm so thankful for my family, because, they're, like, starting from home, my mom, she's so good, ever since she came back from Honduras, she's been cooking for me real good. I appreciate you, and even my brother, like, I have 3 older brothers, 1 younger sister.
Yeah.
So they all are a blessing to me. Like, I haven't spent a Christmas, New Year with my brother for a while. So this Christmas, because my mom went back home, we had to stay just the siblings together. But it was such a blessing. And he has a wife, he has a girl. So then, like, getting to know her family. And it's just, seeing, like, I'm part of that too.
Yeah.
So, like, it was just beautiful, that sense of family.
Yeah.
Another thing I would say I'm greatly grateful for is friends, man. Because that being said, I don't have much secondary family here in Canada. And I don't have much back home either. Some things happen, we have to move around the world, But my friends, even though I'm not this guy, we could talk about my opinion on friends. I don't think friends are solid. Like me, I don't care if my friend moves away. Just friends are what season. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But in that being said, God has been so good to friends. Like this Christmas break, I was in Edmonton. I sat maybe with 3 different of my boys just there in Edmonton, and it's just my friends. Sometimes I bother them too much because I'll ask them anything. Like today, I was waiting for Enos to go buy me this car, but his car's not turning on, so I won't be too hard on him. But they teach me how to drive manual. My friends, anytime, like I was just asking one for a mechanic. He's gonna get me a mechanic real quick. Anything I need, a place to sleep, anything I need, my friends can take care of me. So I
think it's because of how you are, right?
Yeah.
It attracts friends or pushes friends.
But it's not always that easy, bro. If I'm being 100,
because it also pushes as many as it can.
Like in that sense, I have to be honest. Like you see me like happy, blah blah blah. But there's been times your boy doesn't have friends. When I first moved to Lacombe, I didn't have any friends, bro.
You didn't.
Like my first and I think my closest friend in Lacombe area is this Angie Kwan. Auntie Angie, if you're watching this, she was the first friend I met. She was 63 at the time, I think, and the husband 73.
Okay.
But it's just like I said, we built those walls. But her food, man. Auntie Angie just went to Korea right now. She's in Australia. But that food, you're my good friend if you cook that food. Not all my friends, but
saying like a way to the heart is through the stomach.
If you can cook for me, and I think that's a huge blessing. So family, friends, and what else? What's another big thing? Actually, matter of fact, give me one, and then I'll close up with the other one. You give me one thing that you're thankful for.
I am thankful for this opportunity to be able to have this set up to bring people like you on to have a conversation that builds our relationship in a way too. So I'm so thankful for this.
Amen.
Well, he already took the easy bit, but I would say I'm thankful for the different communities, or especially here, just the community here, that have been set here, which as a person makes me realize tons of things. Or just different scenarios or different groups, but especially here in Durban. Right? Because anywhere else, of course, I could make a podcast, but it wouldn't be the same as having right? Having, I can go very long with this, but I'll just make it quick.
No, it's okay.
So, just having this conversation also makes me realize like what type of person I am, and being aware that having, initiate this conversation isn't the best attribute for me. Like I don't go out and go, hey, look, right? Yeah. But seeing having this community around me that I can really rely on and just be whoever I can be, without having this judgment or this looked down upon type of thing, is something that I'm really grateful for. Yeah. I think I can word it in that, and the rest. Yeah.
No, facts. I think I could agree with both of those. But I think I would just do an overall one. I'm thankful to be, if I'm being 100% to be in Canada, man. I'm thankful, the opportunities, here, even when I talk about student loans. Yeah. We can be educated. We can learn. Back home, maybe I wouldn't have had that opportunity. You know, I'm thankful that before I came to Canada, I thought every Asian person was Chinese. It's it's just a culture. I'm so thankful the people I have met along the way, the opportunity for us to be here in an Adventist university, just the freedom that we have. And I just thank the Lord, even though the weather is this outside, Yeah. But but I thank God for that I am in Canada. I think one thing that I'm really grateful for, we can meet with so many different people, meet people that are like-minded, meet people that are opposite, and everything. So I think that's one of the blessings, just family, friends, and the country.
This was such a nice conversation, huh? Viva la Viva. Yeah. Yes. Well, Eli, thank you for coming.
No, man.
We love you. We love what you do. I think this year's Busa social events have been peak. And we thank... Yeah.
Hey, and I came late because that banquet is coming. Yeah. That banquet is coming. That's why I was late today. So we're planning that banquet. Be ready, boys. It's going to be late, okay?
What's the date again? March or February?
As of now, it's March 3rd.
As of now.
Yeah, because we've been having...
Unofficial, though.
Because that was the official one, but then a lot of issues came up. But then we moved it to March 17. But then today we moved it back to March 3rd. So March 3rd, but we'll keep it posting because if you're not there, you're a square.
Yep. So you are a square.
So there we go. Well, no, guys. But also I have to thank you guys for the opportunity, for having me, man, and thank you for the opportunity. Also, you guys been interviewing really interesting people. I enjoy. If I'm being honest, not that never watched the 2 hours of all, but half an hour for all of them. Yeah. And you guys have such interesting people. And I love the way that you put it down so I can...
The timestamps, of course. That's the whole point. We don't need, all the, the video to be watched. Yeah. It's out there for the people that need it. And so to pick whatever they want. And so if it's a 5-minute, gap or a 5-minute timestamp that you really want to watch, then of course they don't want to watch Abel yap the whole time, right? So it's that's the whole point, right?
No,
but we're glad that at least it makes some type of difference.
Yes, no, definitely. Yeah, and thank you, Manny.
We thank Manny, our producer for today. He's sick. Let's pray for him. It's been great. Perfect. Thank you, Eli, and going forward, we hope that we're gonna bring you on next time.
Yes.
And things should be different, and we could still talk about a lot of other things because we didn't even start talking about things we thought of.
Definitely. We could next time we can talk a little bit about community service or community management, or how you can make a change in your community. Because us doesn't feel too small. Yeah, we can talk about that. But also food,
football.
We can talk about that, Yeah. We can talk about, next time what I was interested in talking about is how do you guys think you can run or develop a country? Is it for isolation measures?
That would be peak. Well, what's the how are we going out? Danny.
State